Hey there, welcome to another Tuesday night watch talk. It is Bobby Legs, and I am joined with my good friends Amin and Keith for another Tuesday night watch talk. Yeah, fired up. Hey, listen, I didn't do we didn't do a watch soup last Sunday, so I think I led people to believe at the end of last week that we were doing, and I totally forgot it was Father's Day. So I hope those who are fathers, yeah, great Father's Day, and those who have fathers, were able to enjoy them um, time with them as well. Um, hey, Ahmed, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good, Rob. How
Yeah,
you doing? I like this
good,
shirt.
man. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a little self-advertising for
Looks
the,
good.
the the
Looks good.
business my wife and I have. I totally forgot I had the shirt on. Anyway, but I'm in more so. I'm in the Easy Bake Oven Studios. As we can see right here. But yeah, yeah. Subtle promotion for the Tutor Shack, which is we tutor if you have kids in high school. I might as well go into it. If you have kids this is not sponsored, but if you have kids in high school who need help with subjects, who need help with test prep, SAT and SAT, that's what we do. Anyway,
Nice.
I'm the silent partner. I don't, as you can tell, I don't do much of the marketing. But and what's going on with you, man? How you doing? And what do you have on
Not
wrist tonight?
much. Not much. First time in a while.
Oh well, looky. I'm in Batman. I'm in Batman. You see, I think my biggest mistake with that animation is that I don't let the dancing going back and forth go on long enough.
Oh, it goes on long enough.
It's just a couple of times, you know,
I know
little taste.
maybe like 10 more seconds of it. I don't know why it cracks me up, but it does. But you're a good sport, Amin, because you knew that was
Thank
gonna
you.
come. You
I
knew
knew
that
that
was
was
gonna
coming.
come. Keith, man, it's been like forever since you've been on here on the Bobby Lake stream. I think it's got to be like over a year, right? Easily, right? You
I
you
don't
have been
remember.
on.
Yeah, one time it was the marathon stream. I think we had a bunch of random people come on. I
That's
don't
right.
remember if I've been on other than that. I can't remember.
Uh, and look who's joining us, the freshly shaved Dib.
Dib.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Dib
But
said
Keith,
earlier he wasn't going to come on because he didn't want to see his face like this, naked face.
yeah,
I'm glad you
man,
changed your mind.
Yeah.
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 Hey, Keith. Just because Dib's here doesn't mean that we're not going to focus on you because you haven't been here
Oh
for a
boy.
really long time, man. Hey, so tell us what do you got on wrist first?
I am wearing my Ming
Oh yeah,
1709 Burgundy dial
Love that
today.
watch.
very nice, very nice. So what it's been like forever. What's going on, man? Like, what do you have you been? You're like a watch buying camel, right? Like you can go long periods of time without
Yeah,
like
actually what
making.
happened this year is the same thing that happened last year, where the last time I bought a watch was in September
Yeah.
2022. And then now I'm so close to like wind up and stuff. I'm like, I'll
Mm,
just wait till after that to purchase one, which is exactly what happened the year prior. And
yeah.
I think once that happened last year, I bought maybe 3 watches kind of back to
Mm,
back
mm,
because I keep a list of
yeah.
watches that are
Yeah.
potentials. And then if I'm really done thinking about that watch, I'll cross it off.
Sure.
Although just recently I uncrossed off a watch I had previously crossed off.
Well, tell us what's on your potential short list. What how does that
Let's
look
see.
like?
So the watch that was crossed off and recently uncrossed was a Doxa Sub 300.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
thought I
yeah,
had
yeah.
moved on from that watch, and now I'm looking at Doxas again.
Very nice.
Let's see. I keep my eye on. I don't think this is like an imminent purchase, but I do keep my eye on the Tudor Black Bay 36 steel and gold.
Mm-hmm. Oh
I
yeah,
like
I've heard you
that
talk
one.
about that recently. Yeah.
Yeah, and then some more affordable. I'm sure at one point I'll end up buying a Laurier again.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I'm really interested to see more Christopher Ward stuff this year at Wind Up.
You're wind up
And
in you're talking about the wind up in Chicago, right?
yeah,
Is
that's
that?
that's less than a month away
Oh,
now.
okay. So it's not. So it's really there's a big gap between the wind up Chicago and the wind up in New York, because the one in New York is in October, at the end of October. I didn't
Yeah,
realize there
they
was
have
that big of a gap.
3 in a year. I think it's April, July, and October. So
And that in the April, was that San Francisco? Is that the one that was in?
yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I haven't seen, they haven't officially announced who's going to be there. I know Christopher Ward said they're going to be there. Raven
Yeah.
Watches said they're going to be there, which they weren't last year. But otherwise, it's up in the air.
What's the Christopher Ward that's got your interest right now that you
I
want
mean,
to
I would love
see?
to see the new 12 in
Mhm.
person. I
Yeah,
would love to try it on, see how it fits on my wrist.
yeah,
It should be pretty good.
yeah.
Um, I haven't seen like the new Trident 300s, the
Hmm.
ones they released last year. I have interest in those. They just released 2 new watches today. One's a blue-green dial, which is up my alley.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see that in person. Hopefully that's there. Yeah, that's basically
Oh,
it.
cool. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Dib, what's going on, man? Looking good. Looking good.
Decided my face needed a bit of sun
Yeah.
after a long time, so
Yeah.
got a shave.
Yeah, but you're gonna have the beard back by tomorrow, so it's
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna look like mine tomorrow, only with less gray than mine.
I don't think so, but
All right. Well, listen. What do you got on wrist? Please tell me you got a Ming on, because Keith's here.
no,
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
I have my
Mm.
new
Yeah.
tuna, golden tuna on. Got it 2 hours ago. UPS was super late today, but yeah. The only I like everything about the watch except one thing, which is the date wheel. This is a US release model. I like the Japanese kanji, dates. So I
Yeah.
don't want to see some Spanish word on a Japanese watch.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
What do you
What's
mean?
wrong with the Spanish word? What's wrong with that?
It's not harmonious
All right.
for me, at least.
I
There's
guess. I
nothing
guess.
wrong with it. It's just a preference of mine.
I guess I understand, because it's a Japanese watch. I understand. All right. Okay. Well, hey, listen. Hey, look. I know how it is when you're following that UPS truck on your app, and they drive by your house, and you're like, whoa, whoa, you're right here. Just stop. Why are you going out of your way? There's no rhyme or reason, right? Have you ever been able to follow them on your app, the trucks that, and you see that they're in
No,
your neighborhood?
I don't do that. I
Um,
mean,
don't start doing that, because you will start questioning, why on earth are they driving so close to my house and not coming to my house? Like, they have like a pattern that they go in, and I've been meaning to ask the guy, like, why you literally come the next block over, like, why do you go like 20 miles away then and then come back again? It just drives me crazy. Anyway, let's move past that. I'm wearing my G Steel, my Casio G Steel, so having a lot of fun with that. Let's say hello to the people in the chat and get into some conversation. Mr. Casio, Steve is here. How you doing? Wearing his Grand Seiko today. Deech is here. Tuna tonight. Very nice. Marceau, he's wearing his new to him IWC Portuguese or annual calendar. Very, very nice. James Duffy wearing the titanium blue style Citizen ProMaster Fugu 42 millimeter version today. I think I said that right, Fugu or Fuju. Um, hey, underachieving watch connector, how you doing? What's going on? We're going to Mariner on wrist tonight. Steve Time Hill is here. Um, Caliber YQG, greetings of the day. Justin R, always strapped in. Brownie, great panel. Yes, thank you so much for the panel showing up today. Justin R, let's go, Keith. Keith is great to see Keith, and wow, Keith is getting a lot of love. Wavein is here. How you doing? Is that a Black Bay shirt? Who's wearing a Black Bay shirt? Not really sure. Okay. Um, hey, Colin, what's going on? How
oh,
you
probably
doing?
because it says tutor. I don't know.
Oh,
Close enough.
tutor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. I get it. I get it. Okay. Fair enough. Mez9 is here. Hey, Kevin S, what's going on? Good to see you. Chiller in the sand. Cheers, everyone. Glad to catch up with the show. I'm wearing my Speedy again. Yeah, Speedy, great watch. Chiller for sure. All right, Thomas Burnett is here. Hey, Detroit Spartan, #1 Dib fan, freshly clean shaven Dib. That's what Detroit Spartan loves to see. Um, Kevin S., what's Keith up to? Not buying anything except for the same. Hey, Dib, what's going on, man? Same exact 3 citizens.
Dib's quickly
um,
growing his beard.
yeah.
He'll be back in just a sec.
Canadian Watch Bookies here. How you doing? Hey, BJ, good to see you. That's a bit heavy, Keith. Not sure about that one for you. He's probably referring to
I'm guessing the
the
Doxa sub
Doxa.
300, which is a
Yeah.
concern. It's a concern.
So like, do you have like a weight in mind that you just don't go past, Keith?
Anything on a bracelet would probably go past it. I would love for all my watches right now are under 100 grams
Yeah.
because I keep my Seiko on a rubber strap.
Uh-huh.
But ideally not more than 120 on a bracelet. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know about that Doxa.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dib? You've had it.
Yeah, I think Dib has like a weight limit, right? Because then his neck starts to hurt or something like that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Dib's stronger than I am, though. I'm weaker than Dib.
Yeah.
Hey. I think my limit is around 150, 156 grams. That's where my
Specific.
comfort. Very specific, because the reason is my old sub. That I think that's what it weighed, and
Yeah.
I had
Oh,
no
wow.
issues wearing that. Like completely, like from the morning till the night. So I mean, I prefer a watch to be around the 120-gram mark with on a bracelet, but again, a little thick, a little heavy doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Stefan is here. How you doing? Good to see you. Paul is here. What is up? Hey, Hobby Bobby. How you doing? What did we do to deserve this, Deb?
What did I do?
Maybe the shaving? Or you disappearing? I don't know. I'm a little behind. I have to
Dib
admit,
looks younger for sure.
Yeah.
I love the strategy of, the less upkeep is you just shave it all off and then wait a while for it to grow in again.
Yeah.
And then
No, I
repeat
mean,
the process.
I usually trim and like shape my beard, but like once in a while, like 4 or 5 months, I just do a complete trim.
You know what is something that I want to do more of, because I really enjoy it, is like getting like professionally shaved, the beard shaved. Like go to a barber, somebody with like that belt, and they're just like going like this with the belt and sharpening the thing, and then they just go do the thing and the hot and the towel. That I've had that done a couple of times. Like, when I go to get a haircut, normally they do a little bit of trimming, right? But they don't do like the real full boat. Like, I guess I could ask for that. You have to pay for it, but there's like some like old school barbers, like, where I used to live, that just like, like with a cigar, and it's just like, put the
I,
all
I,
the
I get that when I'm in India, but
oh
yeah, I mean, I've been going to my barber since I was probably 3 years old, like 4
yeah
years old.
yeah
So
yeah. Amin, do you enjoy a good professional shave? Have you ever had
I
one?
don't
Or
think I've ever had one. I
yeah.
don't grow a lot of hair on my face, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't really grow a lot of like a hair on my face either. It's just like this looks. I mean, it's a shit show. I mean, I can't even explain what's going on with my
Well, it
face.
looks pretty full.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I
I
mean,
think
like
it's better than I can do.
Yeah, well, we'll see, we'll see. But I mean, like I've only had it like, like, I don't have like enough to go. I feel to go and get a shave regularly, but when I get them, man, it's just so awesome just to relax. You know what I mean? And just have that. It's one of the best feelings. Okay. Hey, Dib will be fully bearded by the end of the show. We hope so. Chaz, and then maybe we'll do a replay with a time lapse. Dib looks like a young George Clooney. Wow.
yeah.
High praise from Detroit Spartan. Canadian Watchman, I sold my Black Bay 36 and picked up a Tudor Glamour Day 36 silver dial. Okay. Canadian Watch Monkey does love his tutors. If Dib cuts out, it is due to revenge of the cyclists. Oh, okay. Have you been having some driving issues recently, Dib?
I don't have any issues. I'm always in a state of zen,
Yeah.
followed by a few spikes of non-zen.
Okay.
It's my theory of schedule versus non-schedule.
Hmm.
Same way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. What? Oh, I just lost everybody here.
Keith, didn't you say you turned down a lot of money to go to wind up this year?
Yeah, it was a big cost to get me to wind up, considering I only have to drive there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I turned them down this year. I turned them
Yeah.
down.
Hmm.
What happened to first in the show? Dibs says at the end of the day, or Dibs beard makes a triumphant return. Wow, bets are being made as we speak.
I
Um,
think it's almost 20 minutes. We can move it along from my beard stories.
okay, well, I'm running the show, Dib. Okay. For Kevin S. For your eyes only, circa 1981, Roger Moore wears the golden tuna as James Bond in the movie. Dib is much cooler anyway. Wow, wow. Gotta ask the pro, did Ricky curse the color orange with his performance on Sunday?
No clue. Uh,
Is that is
I,
that a, is that a race question? Is that a soccer question? Okay.
I have no clue. Who
Wait,
is Rick?
I don't know. I don't know what the reference is here. Okay, let me just sort of skip down and get started. We have a lot going on. Hey, Canadian Watch Monkey, Tudor Black Bay 36 or Tudor Glamour Date 36 on Silver. Let me. Canadian Watch Monkey. I'm gonna pull up the Glamour Date because I don't. I think I know what it is. Keith, are you familiar with that
The
watch?
Glamour Date doesn't ring a bell.
I'd still prefer the Black Bay 36, but I do like the Snowflake hand better than the Glamour Date. I find the case a little weird
Okay,
on the
so
Glamour.
this is the Glamour Date. Okay, 36. That's probably what it looks like, right? It looks a little dressy. I don't know. I think I'm with Dib. I think I prefer the Snowflake hand of the BB36. These are all 26 millimeters. Do I have the right one? Anyway, I think the handset is really what the deal is here, right? With this one.
I think whenever I hear the word glamour, like like I hear somebody in the background saying fabulous,
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
do it.
Well, all right, man. Dib, you're a very controversial guy.
No, I mean, it appeals to, like, for example, Canadian Watch Monkey. He got it, so he likes it. I'm not saying it's a bad watch. It's, for me, it doesn't work. That's all.
All right, all right, fair enough. Uh, this has been getting professional barber share since he was 4 years old. Okay. An achievement watchmaker. I'll never again go to the butchers at Great Clips.
I've had bad haircuts from Great Clips when I was a student.
wait. I'm not familiar. Is that like Is that
It's a
kind of like
chain. It's a
okay?
chain of barbershops.
I
Okay.
will say about Great Clips, they used to have $7.99 coupons, $6.99 coupons. Now, no coupons to be found. They raised the
I have a
prices.
coupon for $9.99 plus
Okay,
tax. You know,
okay, not bad, not bad in this day and age.
I can mail you the coupon.
I don't know if it'll work here.
Hobby Lobby saying stay away from anything glamour in the name. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Canadian Watchmaking, if you like it, man, I mean that's all that matters. I
Yeah.
kind of like the snowflake hands. That's just so Tudor to me. That's where I would go. Um, I remember girls who got their yearbook photos for form glamour shots. They all look like porn stars. Um,
See, I'm not the only controversial one here. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Hobby Bobby's he's controversial. Be honest, David. Shit. Okay. Yes, he also had a White Lotus. Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. Well, we got through that. Sorry, that took a little bit longer. It takes a long time to get through the intros and saying hello. So look, hey Ahmed, you kind of wanted to or brought up a topic, when we're getting together beforehand that is kind of it's interesting topic, and I think we can start off with that before we do like new releases and whatnot. You wanna bring that up here while we're
We just have a mutual friend who traded a watch because he really liked the watch, but he just had some negative experiences with the watch
Mm,
that made him trade it off.
yeah.
So have you guys had watches that you liked where either something wrong with the watch or some damage to the watch or watch failure, like it developed a problem where you otherwise love the watch a lot, but just bad sentiment and you moved on?
Well, I've had like two or three which I call bad juju.
Yeah.
Like something bad happened when I'm wearing it, and
Oh
I just stopped wearing it, and then I just sold it off. You know.
Mm,
yeah.
Then the blue Mountie water that I had for more than a year, I dinged the bezel really badly. So there was a sizable ding, like like you could like clearly see it from a distance. And I think when I traded that for the Peacock, that made it a little easy. Even though I love the watch,
mm,
I think every time I looked at it like this, it's just I could see that ding. Like the first thing that I could see was the ding. Like now I do have my Pam, which has a ding like that on the bezel, but I kind of got over it. But with the Grand Seikos being so shiny and polished, it's difficult to get past that.
mm.
But then again, I don't keep watches long enough to have that experience usually.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Colin is saying I had once had a Grand Seiko, and I had to move it after a month of due to it being a Grand Seiko.
Oh yeah, sinking
Oof.
ship. I mean, don't buy GS,
But you
buy,
did
buy
regret,
Omega.
but you did kind of regret that selling that Awate, didn't you?
Oh, I did. I mean, it was a fantastic watch. The dial was excellent. It just like it made my decision making a little easier to trade it, because you guys know that I had a tough time like deciding if I want to sell it or not, because I did not want two blue Grand Seikos
Mm.
with the same case with the same movement, because I already had that last year because I did have the Iwate and the Peacock. Then I sold the Peacock and then I got the Peacock again. So, like, all right, can't have them both.
Keith, any kind of a similar experience or?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is my Grand Seiko, and it's probably I love the design of it. It's probably might be the best looking watch would have ever owned.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get over not being into quartz.
Mm.
And
Mm, mm.
man, I love the Citizen that you both owned. And I know, both of you have moved on from it, and when you're moving on from it, I was really thinking of getting that, but I just couldn't repeat that,
Mhm,
not
mhm.
having the love for quartz. Maybe it'll come back one day. I was looking, during the recent Scurfa
Craze.
releases, I was
Yeah.
considering that, but I think to me, like quartz is much better suited for like maybe a cheaper watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could see like taking that to like the beach or when I'm
Mm.
going swimming at the pool or whatever, like something like that. But as far as like having my Grand Seiko as the highest end watch that I had at the time, it didn't work for me.
Mm.
Yeah. Speaking of quartz, Keith, and the watch that I'm going to refer to, having this experience, was a quartz watch, but it wasn't the reason why I parted ways with it. I had the Sea of Clouds. It was, I don't know if it was early this year. Oh no, at some point last year. Beautiful watch. One of the most beautiful dials watches that I've owned. The polishing was amazing. I didn't care if it was quartz. It was just such a beautiful watch. But that polishing was just over the top. It was beautiful, but I was afraid. I was afraid to wear it. And yeah, I can't be afraid to wear watches. Whatever, we got to wear watches. I get it,
Mhm.
but that was just so shiny and nice that I knew if I, and I don't mind putting scuffs and scratches on my on all my other watches, but for that one, man, it was just everything was so polished, and any kind of scratch I think would have just been glaring at me and annoying me, and it's just been there and I just wouldn't be able to get moved past it. So before I had that kind of experience, I sold it, and I don't necessarily regret selling that watch, but man, it was a beautiful watch, and if I can just like recreate that feeling that I had for that watch with something else that's not as scuffable or scratchable,
Mm,
I would go there. I mean, that dial was just out of sight. Now, I'm going back to our friend
mm, mm,
who's had this scenario that has popped up, and I'll let you answer. How what watches you may have had some regrets selling or because of
mm,
whatever issue.
mm,
But
mm.
um, do you think that because some of these watches are super, or what I would consider like really high end, like any kind of fault, it gets magnified, right? And so when you have this piece and there's something that you find wrong, something that might be wrong in a $500 watch or a $1,500 $2,000 watch is more acceptable, but when it's wrong on a 20, 30, 40, $50,000 watch, it's not. Um,
I think for me, definitely, there's things there. One is if I build up expectations for a watch, then I nitpick it more, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
and price is part of the expectation. And then the other thing is if I buy a used watch, a pre-owned watch, um, and then I find I really keep doubting, like, could there be something wrong? Could this be a sign of something being more wrong than I
mm,
thought? You know, did I is there some hidden deeper problem with the watch? And um, so I think I nitpick in general. I feel like I have enjoyed pre-owned watches less in many cases because I
mm,
hold them up to like a higher level of scrutiny
mm-hmm,
than new watches. But I feel like I'm getting over it, and I can almost point to something that really could bother me or ruin a watch for me on like almost every watch I own, including many bought new. And I feel like I just can't let myself go down that road. So I feel like I'm less bothered by stuff
yeah,
than I used to be,
yeah.
because I feel like I'm at risk for being too bothered by everything,
Right, 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 right,
you
right,
know?
right, right,
So
right. So it's a basically like a fundamental shift in your thinking.
at least that
Uh,
I've tried to make.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
sometimes I don't like, there's certain times when I'm like I said, there's a flaw for almost every watch I have.
hmm
And there are times when I'm like, should I get that fixed or serviced, or should
yeah,
I get that piece of lint taken out from inside the crystal? Should I get this,
yeah,
this
yeah,
thing rectified? But overall, I'm just trying not to be bothered by these things.
yeah.
I had this recent experience with the white dial quartz Grand Seiko that I got.
Yeah.
It was a pre-owned piece, and the guy, you know, he was decent to talk to, and he said it's in mint condition, and it was at a very good price. I thought, all right, let me buy it. But when I got the watch in, it was, I mean, mint condition. It wasn't even in like average condition. It
Yeah.
was scratched fully. So I did not want to go through the whole process because I built up a little rapport with this guy, and I'm like, all right, fine. I don't want to deal with the fact that I have to dispute with eBay, get the watch returned. So I moved it along very fast. But I did not realize at the beginning, because I always used to think, all right, scratches don't bother me that much. But I think there's a limit to what I can accept and what I can't. And that watch just, like, it's completely scratched up. Like the
Mhm.
bezel stinged, scratches everywhere. It just looked bad. I mean, almost to the point where I felt like sending it to Grand Seiko for a service.
Yeah.
Moved it along.
Yeah, I think if you really are, or speaking for myself, if I'm really bothered by something, yeah, I'll move it on. But I'm just saying, I think even for all my other watches, there's they're fine, but there's like I'm like could easily out make myself, you know, anxious about a
Mhm,
lot of them.
mhm. Do you think it's because so like if there is like a flaw, a very very minor flaw,
Mm,
um, is it because, and especially with the pre-owned pieces, right?
mm.
Um, is it, does it bother you because you didn't, like, if there was a scratch, you didn't put it there? You know what I mean? Like if it was, if you had done it right, if you had scuffed it up, or you know um, worn the strap too much, you know what I mean? Like if you had done it, would that be easier for you to process and accept?
You know, I don't have any pre-owned watches um, that where the maybe in general, I feel like if there's a scratch on a pre-owned watch, it's not. I know about it before I buy it, and they're not as bad as
Mm,
I would put on any one of my watches. Where I start to, where my mind I think goes sideways is if I think like, has this been over polished, and I'm not even aware of it. Like,
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
could this watch have a case that's not even supposed to look like this? Like, and then I
mm,
start thinking, could I be missing something? Not so
yeah,
much
yeah,
the scratches.
right. That you've been like duped,
Yeah, like,
or like,
have I been duped, or did I buy a bad copy of something where it's
yeah,
not even a real thing?
yeah, yeah,
It's like
gotcha,
a irrational thing.
yeah. Um, Justin saying, I definitely think some of my watches are unlucky, which makes me not want to wear them. Interesting. Uh, Paul saying my OP39 had bad juju. For sold it for 4,200. Now, what I learned, bad juju is BS. Uh, Detroit Spartan, if something is wrong with the movement, the watch is dead to me unless it's due for a service.
But
Um,
then you could just say, well, the fact that something's wrong with the movement means it's due for a service. It's like where when Dib makes something go from unscheduled to scheduled, right? You could just schedule it as
you're
due
right,
for a service.
right, right,
Yeah, I had this on my mind for a long time. So
right, right, right.
it could transfer from the
Mhm.
unscheduled category to the scheduled category.
So interesting how you're getting out of the hobby. Really, it's just like, you
Now
know,
I needed a beater, like,
yeah, yeah,
what can you do?
right, right. Um, Rob says, I had a car accident wearing a watch, never wore it again. Could have been the driver's fault, right? KR Joey's here. How you doing, KR? Uh, Bobby is afraid of Grand Seiko. Just make sure to wear it with the lights on. Um, okay. Brownie said, just did this with my Breitling Boutique B01. Crown stopped working and just couldn't trust it, even though under warranty. Took a bath, but traded
Mm,
it for a GP L'Oreal ceramic and love that one. That's a great watch, by the way, the
wow,
GP
awesome
L'Oreal.
watch.
So good for you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
this is not
Uh,
rare. I've seen this kind of thing a lot. It's under
mm,
warranty, but fail me once, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't
yeah.
know.
Um, Kevin S saying, definitely some truth to that. Higher prices certainly demand better execution. Justin saying, where is the guy saying the SMP skeleton hands made him sell?
Who
Um,
was that?
Oh, Kevin S keeps harping on that people don't like the skeleton hands because they hear other
Hmm.
people say it, which I guess I've
yeah,
heard. I've heard that.
I like skeleton hands on
Yeah,
the
I think they
Sea
look good.
Magic. Um, But I think though there is truth to people repeating the same thing
Mm.
in this well, in a lot of things, right? Not just in watches, but like, like, oh, the movement's got a hack, right? I mean, that was like a huge one, right? Anyway, hey, Thomas saying good evening. Good evening to you, Thomas, for sure. Skeleton hands, here he goes. Deal breaker for sure. I sooner engage in self immolation than wear a watch with skeleton hands, but that's just me. When the sapphire crystal looks milky, Canadian watch monkey, that really burns him up. Um, Other people's scratches are way worse than the ones I put on my watch. Let's go. Kevin says he hates when my milk looks sapphire. Okay. Uh, Paul's fine with scratches. I like it when new ones pop up on the Explorer. I feel like I've been exploring. LOL. Laughing out
I
loud.
don't do that at all. You know, I just don't. If I'm wearing one of, for example, my most scratch prone watch is at the Grand Seikos, right? I'm not saying that I go like this in the public, but I am aware as to where my hand is, and like let's say if I have to open a heavy door, I don't
Hmm.
use my left hand. I'll use my
Yeah.
right hand. So
Yeah.
situational awareness.
Yeah. That's acceptable. This is the danger of having a loop and a time grapher. It makes you look too carefully. I don't have either one of those, Marcel. I think you're right. Scratches doesn't bother Joey. The deep dings and dents, that's what bothers me. Kevin S. Amin worries about things he's not even aware of.
I'm
James says
making
that
my confessions here.
yeah. James will accept scratches and dents that he has made, but he doesn't like to see him watch that he's buying, even vintage. Oh, that's going to be tough, though, James. Vintage, yeah. AR coating on the outside of the glass and any plating or application protection coating in case of a bracelet. Hey, Pacific Turtle. Good to see you. My Longines titanium big eye has gone back to Swatch twice now because the minute counter doesn't reset. Should they be replacing the watch? Bought from an AD. I mean, look, I mean, if this is the second time now that's going for a minute counter that's not resetting, there sounds like there's something wrong. That would be a deal breaker for me. Like if I had a chronograph and the minute hand or one of the hands wasn't resetting properly, um, and you send it a service and it happens again, poof, see ya for sure. If they don't replace what they have to replace and make it right, out.
I sent my Seamaster 300 twice for service. Once, like this was back in 19 and 20. So I sent it once in November of 2019, and I sent it back in May of 2020. And I still kept the watch for I think another 2 years.
Hmm.
Just liked it. I think it all depends as to how much of a bond you have with the watch,
Yeah.
and there are times when if you have a decent relation with the AD, or if you badger the AD, they're gonna replace the watch. Um, Sometimes I don't want it. It's my watch.
Yeah.
Like if I replace it with something else at that instant, I'd be thinking, all right, how do I move it along? How much money am I gonna lose, or make, depending on the watch. So that's how I see it.
Um, Mr. Steve saying that he replaces a leather bracelet. Doesn't want someone else's DNA for sure. Um, yeah, yeah, totally. Pacific Turtle says he makes his wife walk on the right hand side because she keeps banging my watches with her bangles. Yeah. Definitely want to be aware of that. Uh, makes his wife walk 10 feet behind him for the very same reason. Okay. All right. Anyway, hey, you know what? Great topic. I think we had a pretty good discussion here. Let's move on. Let's talk about some new releases. I don't know if there's many. There's one that I want to highlight that I kind of really like from a brand that I really like. And I am
Baltic.
surprised. Not ball thing.
Oh, okay.
So look, I am no fan of the
Oh,
Glasuta Original 60s, right? I'm not a big fan. I love the brand. I love most of what's in their catalog, but I'm not a fan of the 60s, right? And I think it's mainly because of the numbers. But man, I think the addition of the small seconds hand here really, well, first of all, it takes away one of those numbers, right? So the numbers that I hate, there's less of them, but it really classes this watch up really nicely for me. And look, I get it; it's gold. It's around 17, $18,000. I'm never gonna be getting one of these. Like, who's this watch made for, really? But man, I really, really love the look of this watch. I love it with the combination of the that green croc or alligator strap that it's on right now. And I think they really did a good job here. Would like to see this in a steel, just so bring that pricing down. And they do some interesting dial variations with the 60s line, and I think that would be killer here as well. With the seconds hands, um, I really really like it. Any thoughts? You guys have any thoughts on this one? Does it do anything for you?
looks great.
I like it, but there's a but.
Yeah.
A dress watch should not be 42 millimeters, in my opinion. I am firmly with the Hodinkee crowd. It
Mm,
has to be 38 to 40 millimeters. That's it. Like,
mm-hmm.
great
Yeah,
watch, but
I'm
you know,
I'm I'm with you. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, no, I'm
I,
with you on that. I think I think everybody's got their own way they look at this as a dress watch, like the sizing, but I think I'm with you. Like, 38 millimeter for me is probably like the sweet spot for a dressy piece, a real dressy piece. Um but still like it. Still like the way
I
this looks.
think the reason why I say it is because um,
Because it's true.
there's not a lot of bezel. There's not a lot of bezel on the watch. Number one,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and it's a wide dial, so it's gonna
Hmm.
look big on your wrist. It
Yeah.
it's gonna give you a bigger, you know, feel to the watch. I might say.
Yeah, I mean, Hobby Bobby is like saying if we're getting technical, Dib, it's not a dress watch. It has a small seconds.
Hmm.
Um,
If that's not
So
a dress
what?
watch, I don't know what is.
So what is the definition of a dress watch?
so I think where Hobby Bobby's going here, it's just like a regular three-hander with no complications or nothing else on the dial, just a plain, center seconds, um, and an hour and a minute hand. I mean, that's what I'm guessing he's saying. Um, yeah.
That's a very strict definition of a dress watch.
Well, as per Hing Wall Lee Jewelers, a dress watch has been defined as a watch to be worn with a suit or a tuxedo. A slimmer model than a sports watch, these timepieces fit more comfortably under the cuff of a shirt or a jacket.
Yeah, this one's 12, almost 12 and a half millimeters thick.
I'm out. I need it
Yeah.
to be under 10, you know.
Yeah.
I think according to TGV, who's the authority, right? The dress watch has to be time only, no small seconds, no seconds at all, two-hander,
Mm,
you
mm.
know, precious metal, blah blah blah.
Chaz saying Bobby Leg's getting back to his roots as a German watch guy. Hmm. I'm gonna get back there, Chaz. I'm gonna get back there, man. Just like I know I get
I,
distracted.
I apologize to the viewers of the stream. I used Hing Lee Jewelers. I should have been using Mr. Theo and Harris, Christian, the
Yeah,
curator's words instead. So what Amin said is essentially what is the definition of a dress watch: two-hander,
Like you
simple.
sh- if you're looking for the seconds, it's like not classy, right? Because then you're like,
Yeah,
it's
it's like, oh,
bad
I got a
enough.
place to go.
It's bad
Right,
enough to even look at your watch, right? It should be
right.
a pocket watch tucked away.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So My Ming definitely qualifies as a dress watch then, even though it's 100-meter water resistant.
Does it fit under your cuff?
I think it does. It's I think 10 millimeters.
Hmm. Hmm. What do you think, Keith?
I guess my Ming counts as a dress watch too. As for this watch, I don't know. I'd rather just to spend that kind of money on a kind of a plain looking watch. That doesn't work for me. If
Yeah.
I were to get a watch that looks like this, I'd get something. If I'm spending that kind of money, I want a cool looking dial, and this is just a a plain silvery white one or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
I hear you. Guys crushing my dreams. Okay. Justin
Maybe.
R.
I think you'd be better off buying a stern glass and then painting some yellow on it. You know, micro brands. That's the way. Oh, sorry, maybe a spinnaker.
BJ says looks like an Omega Seamaster 1948 limited. If you hate the numbers, there's always the Aquaterra small seconds. Ooh, I love that watch, Marcel. Love it. Love the Aquaterra small seconds, especially with the Sedna, the two tone, the Segna gold. Oh, so nice. I take it back. Meh comment. This watch actually sucks. Ouch. A dress watch is a watch you wear while wearing a dress. This counts. Yep, the dress watch rules seem lens that dictate size don't allow or dial complexity.
I think for me, if I were to stick to the purest definition of a dress watch, a Langa Saxonia. 37 millimeter, really thin, manual one movement, great watch. But would I ever buy it? Probably not, because I'd get bored of it.
Hmm. Canadian Watch Monkey putting his vote in for the 36 Nomus with Ryan as the best dress watch for the money. Okay, let's see here. Let's move on. See if there's any more releases that we can talk about that we're interested here. Ferdy Porsche. Anybody wants to talk about the Ferdy Porsche?
Oh,
There's.
I'm almost salivating over the prospect of the Freddy Porsche.
I
What
think
is
that's
that?
no. I think it's the like Freddie Castan. It's I think it's a Porsche watch, right? The Porsche brand.
Okay.
Um,
I think the hit for this week was the Arnold and Son Perpetual Moon. It should be on monochrome
yeah, right,
right
right, right.
there. I've seen this watch with a salmon dial, and it's
Mm,
spectacular. I
Yeah,
mean, it's one of
this is a
the.
dress watch. Yeah,
this is a dress watch.
I mean, it's not a dress watch based on the rules, but if I would go into dress watch, I'd much rather have something that looks like this than the
Yeah,
watch.
41.5 millimeter case.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
It's a bit big, but I'll give this a pass because I like it. It's again, like liking, non-liking, scheduled, unscheduled. It has to be categorized.
The problem for me is that you used to be able to get this line super toxic prices, and now this watch they're asking 40 something. Okay.
Ugh.
I mean, you could see the older Arnold and Sons for like 10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
precious metal with a complicated, with the complication on it,
Yeah.
Mm.
Not
but
anymore.
not anymore.
Joey B loves a Calatrava. Chris wants a Saxonia thin. James Duffy prefers his dress watches between 32 and 38 with small seconds and in precious metal. But I also I am also comfortable with what God gave me down there. Okay. Big wrist. What is going on?
I'm not the most controversial guy on the stream today.
No, no,
Let
no.
that be known.
You've been one up by by James, but there is 10 minutes left. That's plenty of time for Kevin S. I think. Big
James
wrist.
is less comfortable with what's down there than Mark Meyer, right? He's he's his watches are much less than 32 millimeters.
Yeah.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. The new ones.
I had a 33 millimeter Seiko that I gave my to my sister. It's like a tiny button. Like, and I have a skinny wrist. I don't even have a big wrist. It was hard to read sometimes. But I mean, if you have a watch which is smaller than that, good for you.
If the smallest watch means the most secure with, then, you can keep going smaller.
Hey, Christian's here. Hey, for you guys who are fans of the smaller watches, what are your opinions on the 35 millimeter PRX? Keith, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this watch. I really want to try it on. I'm probably one of those people that said if you split the difference in 37.5 PRX, that'd be ideal. I'm curious to try the 35 on to see what it looks like on my wrist, though. I think they have the other standard colors too. I mean, in addition to maybe these newer ones, but I think they have like a green one and stuff too.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. I think 35 was just a little too small. I even kind of worried about the Christopher Ward 36. They're going to come out with in the 12 like that. I'm curious to see how these are going to wear. But
What do you think? No.
I wore my wife's 35 millimeter watch one day to work to see how it
Yeah.
was. It wasn't too bad actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, Keith, if that part of their reasoning to go down to 35, multiple reasons, right? To make it possibly more unisex, right? You mentioned your wife
Yeah.
having a 35, but also that size working because of the style of the case and the integrated bracelet that it may not feel or wear like a 35. I'd be curious to try these on. I like these. I like these PRXs, man. I really, really do. I think they look great. I think for the price, um, they're really, really great watches. Not great in a sense like they're the greatest, but you know what I mean. For that at that
Yeah.
price point, they're they offer a lot. So yeah, would love to see what these actually feel like on wrist. Dib, do you have any thoughts on the 35?
I just don't care.
Okay, you
It's
got
fine.
it.
You don't care?
He
I
doesn't
don't
care.
care because I mean, a dear friend of mine gave me a 40 millimeter PRX last year. It took me 3 weeks to move it along. So I think Joey wanted it, so I gave it to him. I just don't care about these watches anymore. If it's
What
Seiko, then I like a little bit. If not,
what about
I'm
the
fine
Christopher
that it
Ward 12?
exists, but it's not for me.
What about
What?
the Christopher Ward 12? Does that not interest you either? That's
Not
similar enough.
really, not really. I wouldn't buy it. I just don't like when I see my collection and when I look at the watch box. I just don't have space
Mm,
for the $1,000 watches which are there. I do make a little bit of concession for any Seiko that I like, but if not, it's okay. Not the end of the world. But that's just me. That's my opinions. Don't have to follow.
Was that person who gave you the PRX? Was it Beans?
No, no, he's in
Uh,
the chat, but I can't say his name out loud.
okay, okay. Joey B says I wear an Invicta to compensate for my thimble that I got down there. Okay, well, maybe we could finish off with that topic. What are those watches, right? And I'll give the panel like a few seconds to think about. Um, if you're feeling a little bit insecure of your masculinity, right?
Mm, mm.
Um, what is the watch that will bring it over the top? Will just make the world know that you're all 100% man.
Uh, honestly, that
U
that
boat?
honestly that question never pops up in my mind.
Oh, stop it.
No, I mean it's serious. Like, do people judge me for wearing a watch which is super expensive, at least to their eyes? Maybe. I just don't care about people anymore to give a damn.
Yeah.
Like what it is, like wear what you like, buy what you can afford, without putting yourself in a debt laden situation, and that's about it.
Okay. All right. Kevin is saying the PRX offers a unique level of mediocrity. Kevin is saying wear Rolex to compensate for manhood. I guess he's saying. Deep Sea Challenge by Richard Legrand. Compensating Omega Ultra Deep. Make them think you can. That's pretty good, Clayton. Also, wear a squale. I'd be more Christian saying I'd be down for a more masculine Serpentini, like the precious metal viper. Acus Oris, chronograph, or my Panerai. Yeah, Panerai is I feel Panerai is like a very maybe that's why I like it a lot. Very like, helps me compensate for my shortcomings.
I just know I'm not manly enough for a Panerai. Just doesn't go.
Joey B, Kadogi movement side up. Hublot Big Bang
Of
says
course,
time.
one of my favorites. One of my favorite watches in the world.
Marcel is saying the 47 millimeter rose gold Radomir would be a great compensation watch.
I mean, it's a great watch for people with a big wrist. So if you really wanted to quantify, you know, the size. All right, what just happened?
No, I'm just like Amin's just doing a little solo layout of Amin looking through his camera there.
So, Amin, are you trying to determine which watch makes you feel the manliest?
No, I got a new camera. I'm experimenting with it. Watch pictures while thinking about manly watches.
Yeah. Ploprof is the answer, Justin.
Oh yeah. When I look at a Blue Prof, I just think disfigured down there.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
Disfigured down there.
The big wrist. Thanks for the plug, Deb. Yeah. Whether you meant to do it or not.
Yep. It's a happy coincidence.
Yeah, Amin is watch shopping through his camera that he got. Macro shots. Yep. Yeah. Symphony. I'm just gonna leave that up there for a second. Well, guys, we made it. I didn't think we were gonna make it, but we did. Of course, I thought we were gonna make it. I'm just kidding. Hey, Keith, it was really good to have you on, man. I mean, you should come on more often, dude. I like your perspective.
I appreciate it
a lot. So, and
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Dib, always a pleasure. Amin, so with the new camera, are you gonna? Are we getting some new videos coming up soon? Is that?
I was thinking about shutting down my channel.
Weren't you? Now I could have. Weren't you saying like 2 weeks ago? Sorry, weren't you saying like 2 weeks ago you were going to do reviews, or was that just joking around?
I was joking around.
Okay.
I think I might shut it down.
I was 50-50 on it. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're so good at reviews, though.
I know, man.
I love watching your reviews.
I think I might focus on doing watch picks.
Can I add one more line about the Blue Prof?
Please do, Deb. Please.
This is for my friend Wolfgang, who has a Blue Prof. So when I see somebody wearing a Blue Prof, I just feel like in their past life or in that life,
here we go,
they were violently attacked by their crazy ex, and stuff had to be sewed back on.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Where you're going with that one.
I'm just leaving a picture for Wolfgang. Like if he watches the stream.
I don't think that's gonna register with Wolfie though, because that is. I mean, I don't know if unless that's happened in Austria or wherever he's from. We know what you're talking about here in the States. Do you know what I mean?
But crazy women are not exclusive to the US.
No, I understood.
Sorry, let me rephrase. Crazy people. Sorry, internet. I don't want to get canceled.
When Wolfie wants to feel more manly, he pretends some of his watches are Katie's watches. That's
that's what he does, yeah. And he eats 3 chickens on Wednesday. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hopping on this evening. Chat, you're the best. You You're the best, and the show really, Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired. It's 10 o'clock at night. Have a good one. See you guys on Friday. Have a good night. Take
Good
care,
night, you
guys.
guys.
Bye.